What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. There are plenty of good men winning out here with women. Plenty of good men. You know what? I've talked about this before, but I'm going to have to address it again because it keeps coming up one way or the other. Either people hit me up privately or seeing some videos, and I'm not going to promote the other videos from other people, but it's always that thing of, oh, the women going for Chad and Tyrone. Oh, the women just going for the players. Women just going for Pookie and Ray Ray. Yeah, but there's plenty of good solid men who are getting women out here. And when I say good, let's just be real. We know what good is. We know what's bad. Okay? And if anybody come on here, well, is that good? No. Is the guy positive? Is he protecting? Is he providing? Shoot, can he make love to the woman? Shoot, is he a thinker? Is he just doing good shit out here in society? We know what good and bad is. If I gotta tell you or you get funny about it, I'll probably just block you. Seriously, you get tired of this shit. At some point, people need to grow the fuck up and act like they got some sense. If not, this ain't the place for you. This is not the place for you. But there's plenty of good men winning out here. And I don't say that off the top of my head. See, I ain't like a bunch of basement dwellers and shit. I go out. Remember, I be doing consultations with men all over the world. I actually know people, you know? And I know plenty of men in great relationships with supportive women, regardless of the racial background. And I'm going to be real. They don't have to travel overseas for that shit either. They can find it right wherever they at. And indeed, in some of those places, yeah, they finding good women too. And I'm going to just say this, man. I can't stand the excuses, man. Because like I said one time, man, having to save some other man's daughter and shit almost got me killed. So I don't have time for it. Because I can't stand that shit. Because I ain't had a luxury of excuses growing up. So that's one thing about me. Because I know too many men personally. You know, in a bit, when I stop this video, I know some young men with some very attractive women working at this grocery store I'm going to stop at in the area. And I know them. Now, let's be real. Yeah, I know there's plenty of guys who are saying, well, the women treat me this way or that way. But I'm going to say this. If you coming across bad women all the time, I'm going to say what I've said. And I've said this to the women when they come across bad guys. Only thing they got in common is you got to look at yourself. Maybe you're not who you think you are. And I'm saying that as a tough love coach. Like I said, maybe you ain't who you think you are. It's just that simple. Because there's guys out here, I'm going to tell you what, it's not even about money. I know guys, everything from guys just barely making it, but at least they working, to literal masters of the universe, professionals, and they getting women. And you know what? A lot of guys think, well, is it because they're so handsome or they act like thugs? No. They just good guys. You know what they do? Because they men. That's the commonality. They men. And they know what they supposed to do as men. Now, are there going to be some women out here who don't like that? Yeah, there's plenty of them. There's tons of them. As a man, you only deal with that woman if you have to. If you're dealing with some women who constantly pass you over, I say this. You know, yeah, you look at yourself, but then okay, let's put it like this. If you get some women and they passing you over, yes, you're looking at yourself, but then if they pass you over specifically for a thug, that's what they like. Not even messing with you, not even rejecting you, they just don't want you. Look at the women themselves. Look at them. Ask yourself what's up with them. Because every single time I've had a woman reject me, every single time somebody I might have had some attraction for, I would always be like, damn, I dodged the bullet. And you know what? Let's stop on something. Yeah, you got some Chads and Tyrones out there, real handsome guys. You got some players out there. And you got some thugs out there, low account men getting women. They doing you a favor. Because one thing I found with the good men who getting women, they get good women. They don't be trying to rescue no women out here or dealing with some bad women. And if the women shows that they don't have any sense, they kick them to the curb. I know plenty of women, they got kicked to the curb by a guy that they regret. That they ain't act right. And see, one of the things, like I said, the commonality, they act like men. They ain't complaining. You know, they looking at themselves to see, okay, what am I doing? Then they correct themselves. And the one commonality, they ain't perfect. And you know what? They ain't on no thug thing, but also they ain't on no bitch ass shit either. They the type of men you don't play with. Like I said, they solid men. They the type of men that ain't playing that shit with a bunch of women. The women got to come correct. She got to be correct. That's why I say men need to look at themselves. And even in situations, I'm gonna repeat this, even in situations where that woman reject you, you might have been just done a favor. Shit, there's 4 billion women in the world, and there's plenty of them. They just want a good man. And they willing, and a whole lot of them, despite all this talk about traditional and all of that, they willing to submit, and they do so. I know too many. Come on now, I met too many just out and about. Met several at the self-improvement summits when we were having them, and the women just totally supporting them. And they good guys. You know a good man. They ain't on some scuzzy ass shit. Because to me, when men blame other men or get mad at them or say, well, they want them and not me, that's a self-esteem issue, man. What do you got to present? And this don't mean every single woman gonna come for you. They shouldn't. You shouldn't want every single woman. You shouldn't even want most of them. You just need the ones who are in cooperation to your operation, who are in submission to your mission. And when I say that, I don't mean no doormat, but a woman trying to help you out. She trying to help you out. That's a good woman. And yeah, I know there's a bunch of bad women out here, and I know all that. Leave them the fuck alone. Trust me. That's actually the best thing to do. Let me get into that for a second. Stop worrying about the women. If they chase some Pookie and Ray Ray, let them go. Don't worry about it. If they chasing some super handsome guy, some Chad or Tyrone, leave them alone. If that's not you, it's like, you want the woman who's going to be down for you. And there's plenty of guys out there. This ain't no thing. Because anybody, I tell you what. Anybody say that's not the case, tell me what street you from before you say it. Because I think a lot of motherfuckers be saying some shit, don't even go the fuck outside. Tell me what street you from. Because where I'm at, East Coast, Baltimore, D.C., as far down as Virginia, been in Atlanta more times than I can count. Please. And I know men in all those areas. Now, let me be clear. Like I said, yeah. And you're going to get some bad ones. And indeed, even the good men, they're going to go through some shit with some women. That's going to happen. That's part of the relationship process. Let me explain something. Every relationship ain't supposed to be a marriage. It ain't supposed to be permanent. You know? But there was somebody I hadn't seen in a while. Every relationship ain't supposed to be permanent or whatever. And indeed, every good man they had to grow. Some of them, they might have had to drop their balls on them. And when I say drop their balls, become men. They had to do something. And a lot of players had to get this shit together. In fact, when I talk about a real man in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I give examples of both. A nice guy who became a real man and a player who became a real man. One just became disciplined, the other one just got a backbone to him. And those men win. They win. They win. And they ain't up there sitting around, because the second you sitting around complaining about some other man getting a woman, that means you don't feel good about yourself. Because one thing I found in common with these guys, they good with themselves. They fix themselves up to the best they can. They fix themselves up. And, I'm always talking about body game. Now, these guys, they at least keep themselves in decent shape. At least try. Yeah, they might have a little overweight there or a little underweight otherwise, but they at least keep themselves up. They present themselves. And I'm going to tell you something now, and this ain't cliche. One thing I noticed about all of them, even the ones that might not be making that much money, might be working a 9 to 5, they got a sense of mission. Like some of the ones working 9 to 5, they blue collar type of guys. They had a sense of, you know what, I'm going to take care of my family. I'm a family man. Some men are just built that way. You know, I'm gonna present myself well. I'm gonna handle my business. I'm gonna be that leader. I'm gonna be that leader in this household. They say they're gonna do their best, and that's all really a man can do. He's just ain't gonna take responsibility for his life. That's what they do. That's what they do. They're not up here worried about what's happening out here, or some women going for bad. Like I said, I ignore them. If you're a man, you ignore the bad ones. And if you keep attracting the bad ones and they keep doing it, then you look at yourself. You look at yourself and say, okay, what is it about me that I'm projecting out to these women that they think they can see me as a mark? And once you change that, the women are changed, even who you deal with. And this is regardless of the woman. Like all these guys out here complaining about modern women. All these women would sit the fuck down if enough men stood the fuck up. Shit. It's just that simple. And all you really need to get from naming pussy or whatever, just respect. And in fact, if you actually righteous, you actually standing up like the man you should be standing up as, those women will avoid you. They'll purposely keep their distance because they be too scared to fuck with you. Let me say that again. They too scared to fuck with you. And then understand something. One of the things too is, because I know some guys say, well, these women is, no, you the thing in common, but all these women ain't like this. I know plenty of good women. Know plenty. Seriously, single, no children. Are they perfect? No, but none of us are walking on water. But they trying to do right. They trying to do the best thing. And see, a man who know what his mission is, a man who know who he is, he finds a woman who's going to fit into that. And then he don't worry about some women talking some other stuff, because you got some women out there, they talking about, well, you got to cater to them and stuff. You just look at them and say, okay, good luck finding somebody going to actually do that. Because this is my mission. I ain't coming off there for you. But you got, wait, 30 minutes of entertainment between your legs ain't worth me coming off my mission. Hey, sometimes you got to be rough that way. And that's another thing, too. A true good man ain't no sucker. That's the main thing. A true good man ain't no motherfucking sucker. True good man, he ain't born and he ain't no sucker. He ain't gonna put up with no shit. Trust me, I've seen women. I always tell that story about that one woman who, she was pretty much a ball buster. Except for her husband. Because she said her husband say zip it, she zipped it. And they winning out here. There's plenty of guys. And see, I'm gonna tell you something now. That's why I hate when I hear about some Pookie and Ray Ray or Chad and Tyrone and guys bitching. You really disrespectful to the men out here. You very disrespectful to the men out here doing well. And I know none of y'all gonna get in the face of them. Yeah, I said it like that. You're disrespectful to them. You get plenty of guys out here winning instead of worrying about what ain't happening for you. Instead of worrying about that or worrying about some scuzzy ass motherfuckers out here, some lowlifes, you need to be focused on your shit and then focus on being around or emulating or trying to find the guys doing something. And if you ain't in a situation where you can't do that, then you gotta look at something else. Like, shout out Kevin Samuels. He always talked about the high value man. One of the things he talked about was networking. If you ain't around some men who are about something, or doing something with their lives, good men who like actually positive, then you gotta look at that once again, you gotta look at yourself. Seriously. You gotta look at yourself. Stop complaining and shit. And just do your best. And like I said, I'm gonna keep saying, I'm gonna say it third, fourth, I don't know how many times I said it. If you got all these women who keep constantly rejecting, treating you a certain way, that's on you. You the only thing they got in common. And I know some people will say, why you like this? Man, I'm on an agenda on this motherfucker, man. I'm on an agenda. That's why I don't have a problem blocking, deleting, whatever. This ain't for entertainment. This ain't for fucking entertainment. This for lives, man. Shit, you don't know how many times people hit me up privately. They went through some serious shit. I'm just, hey, we need men to stand the fuck up. Because even when men complaining about all these modern women feminists, these women will sit the fuck down if enough men stand the fuck up. That's weakness to complain about the women. Women ain't physically stronger than a man. And yeah, there's some areas where a woman, she might have a better insight because she's a woman, but at the end of the day, a woman can only do what women can collectively do, only what men allow them to do. And if somebody get mad or say, oh, that's misogynistic, man, fuck y'all. Because 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all want a man. And that for sex, you hear that, you in that house at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you hear that noise or something, or you out in the streets and somebody disrespect you, oh yeah, you don't want all that equality and all that shit. You want that man to fuck him up. I've also known too many women complain about a man not leading. Okay, fine. So I'm telling men to be leaders. I'm telling them to stand up. Anybody don't like it, what the fuck you gonna do about it? I'm gonna keep saying it till the day I die. But then all the men who support me, whose lives I've changed, they gonna keep saying it. So whatever, but they winning. And I'm just, look, let's be honest, it ain't gonna be like instantaneous, because it ain't instantaneous for no one. I was about to get into that earlier. You're supposed to learn from relationships. When you come across that bad woman, you're supposed to learn from her. Because you're supposed to learn one thing. Okay, you attracted this woman. She did all this evil shit. One, you learn, you check her out, because you be like, okay, this what she doing, just what she was bringing. But you look at yourself and say, what was it in me that drew her to begin with? All right, let me work on that. Let me work on that. If you get 2 or 3 women doing the same thing, all right, you still got to look at that. Because I'm telling you, you change your mindset, the women change. It's so fucking easy. It's easy. You change your mind. Because ultimately it comes down to the mindset. Because once you change your mindset, you're not even going to be in the same situation. You ain't even going to be where you were seeing those original bad women. Because you're going to say, hold up, the women in this area are bad. I keep a try on them. They bad. I'm going to work on myself. Then I'm going to go to a different area. I'm going to start hanging around different people. I'm going to change my mindset. I'm going to make it so they don't even want to come near me. Only the good ones. And a lot of sharp men out here. And let me be clear, though, because sometimes people bring the race thing into it. Man, this is whatever race you are. Black, white, Hispanic, Native American, Alaskan, whatever ethnic group you are. A man is a man. A man is a man, regardless. I got consultation clients from all over the planet. People following me. Somebody let me know. Somebody from India said, hey, you got a whole group of us following you in India, Australia, South Africa. Shout out to a young protege in Zimbabwe. You gonna take over that joint, bruh. My young protege there, he will be the future president of Zimbabwe. Because a man is a man. In fact, that's why, hey, spending some time with my sons last couple of days. That's why y'all ain't get a video. I told you, my first job is father. First job is father. That's why y'all ain't get a car video or even a house, smartphone couch video. First job. Because let me say this about that father thing. Any father whose sons go to jail or they ain't doing well, they got to look at themselves. Don't blame the kids. Look at themselves. Did you do your best? Yeah, ultimately those sons or daughters too. Ultimately, they got something. They got to look at themselves. But what is it? And even with daughters, I've known plenty of good men. They raise good daughters. They raise good daughters. They ain't give a fuck. They ain't talking about some social media or all that shit. They ain't doing that. They raising them now. They taking care of baby girl. So some of these women out here, shit, you gotta point to the fathers. Because the fathers, we set order. Men set order. Ain't no excuses for it. And shit, by force if necessary. Kahuti. Amen. So that's one of the things, though. That's one of the things. But they winning out here, though. You got plenty of men. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir, especially a lot of men who I know their personal situations, be seeing them in their family pictures and stuff like on IG or Facebook with their ladies, with their babies, everything. I'm preaching to the choir. It's time more men get that attitude. Because here's something else. You get a critical mass of men who stand up and be men. Be good men. The women will respond to that. They'll change. If men collectively say, hey, y'all gotta wear your hair in bonnets and wear like long skirts down to your ankles, I say give it a few weeks. If we collectively say that, shit, sometimes overnight, that'd be a whole new industry. You say, hey, we tired of leggings. We want to see y'all dress conservative. You get a critical mass of men who say that. So if you get a critical mass of men say, nah, this how you gonna behave. And I've seen that. I've witnessed that too much. I've done it. You say, nah, this how you gonna be around me. They'll do it. They'll either do it or they leave. If they want you, they'll do it. And if they don't, if they say, oh, nah, we ain't gonna do that, just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Trust me. Just leave them alone. They ain't good for you anyway. A woman who's not in cooperation with you is not good for you. And that's one thing that truly good men will get. They ain't gonna be messing around with a bunch of knucklehead ass women. And if they go, shoot, don't lose it. Shit. Stop putting that pussy on a pedestal. And that's the thing. But they winning out here. Too many guys, they winning. Now, is it, like I said, it ain't everybody. Of course, we need more. But instead of just saying, like, Pookie and Ray Ray, Chad and Tyrone, even 1% man and all that shit, just say, you know what, I'm going to be the best man. I'm going to see who's going to be there. And another thing, too, they're going to be realistic, too. Truly good men going to be realistic about where they stand, where they at, everything. Because they ain't going to be on some fantasy and shit. You know, worried about supermodel of the world when, shout out a man, Kenneth Young. I remember the other day, I said, yeah, 1 out of 10,000 women are a dime. He said, nah, he felt it was 1 out of 20,000. I said, I gotta go with that. I said, okay, I respect that. Shit. But whatever the case, you gotta be respectful. And remember, I'm going to tell you what, one of the main things, first thing y'all got to do, if y'all don't take anything else from what I said, and I do mean it, though, you come on here with some other shit, because this ain't open for debate. I got a strict agenda. I got a very strict agenda, a mission from God. But if y'all get nothing else from it, as a man, you gotta have that first relationship within yourself. You gotta have that first relationship within yourself, okay? And you gotta say, look, this is what I'm gonna do with my life. This is my mission. And is it gonna be easy? Hell to the no. Is every woman gonna like that mission or want you? Or is every single woman gonna treat you, no matter how good you are, gonna treat you with respect? Hell no. You leave them alone. There's 4 billion women in the world. Every man has a tribe. You focus on the women going to treat you right. You focus on the women going to treat you right. Who's going to be in cooperation to, not even your operation, just to who you are as a man. All right? But to even get to that point, you got to be good with yourself. You can't be putting yourself down. You know what? Nah, you don't look like some Chad or Tyrone. That's good. You look like whoever you are. You ain't some ne'er-do-well out here who's not doing anything. Okay, let them do their shit. You worried about your own life. You doing your thing. And if you lose out and if some woman that you wanted him more, that bad guy or that pretty boy or whatever you want to say, okay, that means she wasn't for you. You don't worry about it. She probably did you a favor. Because hey, look, and this is another conversation. So many men have gotten played by some woman who really didn't want them. So many men have gotten played. They've gotten hurt. They paying child support. They found out they weren't the father of that child. If that woman shows she ain't interested, let her ass go. She is doing you a favor. You don't worry about that other shit. You worry about what's best for you. What woman's going to be there for you? Who's going to be right for you? Because you got to be selfish in a way. You got to think, okay, what's good for me? And this is what I'm going to do. And it's like this dude said. And this dude, he got a very good woman. He got a grown son. He's really doing something, man. I've known him for damn near 30 years. I'll never forget what he said. He was like, you know what? I'm a nice guy and I'm good with it. But what he was, he called himself a nice guy. I say he was a real man. Because he was just good. He knew his mission. He knew what he was going to do. He knew which women were down for him, which ones wasn't. And that dude is doing well to this day. Because he knew what it meant to be a man. I want y'all to meditate on what I'm saying and just get out there. Stop worrying about everybody else. Stop thinking, oh, it's over or some shit like that. If you think like that, this ain't the place for you. Because there's going to be a lot of chaos coming. It's already here. We need men to deal with it. All right? We need men to deal with it. All right? And I don't have time for the jokesters, the weak-ass men. Because I told you, almost got killed handling another man's business. Keeping his daughter alive. And he's passed, but no, I ain't gonna say something. I was about to say something that's kind of evil. But anyway, just stand the fuck up. All right? Just stand the fuck up. Good men are winning out here. You figure out what they doing. If you know one. If you don't know any in your circle who are winning, you might need to change your circle. All right? You need to change it. So, I want y'all to think about that. Stand up. We about winning on this page. All right? So, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.